Hey guys, Tom here. Today we're going to be troubleshooting gas valves, and this one here happens to be a two-stage gas valve. So it's going to have a high flame and a low flame, and two-stage are more efficient than a single stage. But what I'm going to show you here with the two-stage is going to apply for a single-stage gas valve. You'll just have two wires instead of three. So these two stages will have three wires, and you can see the common, which is basically the ground, and then the M would be the low stage, and the high would be the high stage, what's called the second stage. And you have some set screws back here, low and high, to where you can adjust your gas pressure to where it should be. Now these two-stage systems, they'll have a two-stage inducer motor, and you can tell with, again, the three wires. So the red will be the lower stage, the first stage. The black will be the second stage, and the black will be a higher RPM, so it'll spin faster. And then you'll have two pressure switches. The one back here is for the low fire, which is a low flame. The one towards the front is the high fire for the high flame. So basically, when you start your furnace, it'll start in the low stage, the first stage, and you'll have power coming up to the red, and then and we're going to test that with the meter. I'm going to show you that. And then when it kicks into the second stage, it'll be a higher RPM on the motor, draw more pressure, close the second stage pressure switch, which will then send power to the second stage of the furnace. So we'll go ahead and demonstrate that. And I've got my jumper on the control board, so I don't have to run up and down to the thermostat. So I'm going to go ahead and close the door switch to energize. Set this right here. And again, the first thing that's got to come on is your inducer, and this is the low speed with power to the red. Which you can see there, 124 volts. And then that'll close the pressure switch, which then starts the igniter, and then your burners come open. So you'll want to go ahead and test the voltage. And you can see I have the 27 volts, so that means that the gas valve should open, which it did. Now if you have 24 volts and the gas valve is not opening, then your gas valve is probably bad. It's probably stuck. The coil is probably burned out. So again, if you're reading 24 volts but your gas valve is not opening, it could be the gas valve. But the other thing it can be is the incoming gas pressure could be too high, which is causing the gas valve to stick. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect power, and as you can see, everything shuts down. So we'll want to check the incoming pressure with your manometer, because like I said, if you're getting 24 volts but it's not opening, then that's one thing that we'll want to check. Okay, and this port here is the incoming gas port. So the first thing you'll do is just shut your valve off, and then come over here and just crack this valve with an Allen wrench. Just turn it just a little bit, and then you'll hook up your manometer, and we'll turn that on. And you'll want your manometer to read inches of water column. So down at the bottom it'll say INH2O. That's how gas pressure is read, with inches of water column. So once we have it zeroed out, open the valve, connect your hose. We'll go ahead and open this gas valve, and typically incoming gas pressure from the meter would be about 7.5 inches of water column. Here we've got 7, that's fine. We don't want anything too low. You know, if it's below, so if it's 4 or below, then you'll want to contact the gas company, because that's just not enough pressure. So that's another reason to take your gas pressure readings. So the incoming gas pressure is okay. If this number was a lot higher, then yeah, there's too much pressure and it could be holding this gas valve stuck. So you'll want to contact again the gas company, because the regulator outside by the meter is probably broken and just allowing way too much gas pressure. I've seen these meters just pig out, and that's another reason. So that's why you want to check the gas pressure in case it's holding it stuck. And you'll also want to do it while it's running. So we've got everything hooked up. I'm going to go ahead and start this back up and get it running again, because we want the gas pressure to stay pretty consistent. So if we're getting good gas pressure coming in, we want to see how it reacts when the gas valve opens, because we don't want this number to drop too low either. So there we go. Inducer came on, pressure switch closed, igniter came on, and the burner is going to fire up here in just a second. And we'll see what that gas pressure reads. So it goes down to 6.7, and that's fine. That's good. You know, like I said, we don't want it dropping 4 or anything below, because you know, especially if you're reading 2 inches water column, 3, that's just not enough gas supplying to the furnace. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and shut it off here, and then you'll go ahead and shut your gas valve back off so that you don't have gas pouring into the house. Take your manometer off, and then just go ahead and close this back up. So if you're getting voltage, gas valve's not opening, you checked your pressure. If that's good, then it's your gas valve itself that's going to be bad. And what we'll do is go ahead and check the outgoing pressure, and I'll kind of show you how to dial that in. But again, you got to make sure. I've got videos. If your inducer is not coming on, you can check out that video, see why. If your pressure switches aren't closing, I got a video on pressure switches. But these things have to happen in order for power to get sent to this. So if you don't have power, then you've got to find out why. Whether it's an open limit switch, whether your inducer motor is not coming on, whether your pressure switch is not closing. You'll have to figure out if this is clogged up in here. If it's a pressure switch, your vent pipe could have something stuck in there. But I've got videos on those. But right now we'll just go ahead and continue and concentrate on the gas valve. And let's go ahead and take some pressure readings. I'm going to go ahead and open up the back side of that port. And it's hard to see, hard to get to, but it looks just like this one, but on the back side. And with this GoPro on my head, it's kind of hard to, there we go. And we'll hook this. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and start it. I'm going to go ahead and put my door closure back on. And we're going to see what the outgoing pressure is. And you have a little cap back here. Just unscrew that cap. Take that cap off. Take a look at your gas pressure. Now, on the first stage, on low pressure, should be about 2 psi or 2 inches of water column, anywhere from 1.75 to 2, and it should be. It's just say it on the gas valve somewhere what the pressures would be. So I'm getting 1.61. I'm going to go ahead and raise that just a little bit. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and raise it to. I'm going to go ahead and raise that to 2 inches of water column. That's on the, and it doesn't have to be precise, because the gas pressure will kind of fluctuate anyway. Okay, so I've got my gas pressure dialed in on the low flame, the first stage, to about 2 inches of water column. So what I'm going to do now is jump her to the second stage by going from W on the control board to W2. And what that will do is it'll kick the inducer into the second stage, and you can hear that, and closes the second stage pressure switch, so that now you have voltage on the HI, which you can see right there, 26 volts between common and the second stage, the high stage. And the second stage would be about 3.5 psi, or not psi, inches of water column. So this is 3.5, so we're set. I don't have to adjust that any. So that's how you kind of troubleshoot and adjust your gas pressure as you need it. But again, there's times where you may have to call the gas company if your incoming pressure is not correct. But if you don't have 24 volts to open that gas valve, you're going to have to look at my other videos on the inducer motor, whether that's closing the pressure switch. And these the pressure switches will send the voltage back down to the control board, and then the control board will send the voltage up to the gas valve. So there's certain things that have to happen in order. And also, you'll have to check limit switches, and we're going to cover limit switches here, and there's one back here, and we'll have to cover those, and you'll have to see if those are open or closed. They should be all closed, normally closed all the time, and we'll do a video on those. But for right now, that's the basics of the gas valve troubleshooting. Again, the single stage is going to be the same, just with 2 wires instead of 3. So there you go, guys. Any questions, just leave me a question. I'll try to get it answered for you. But thanks a lot. Have a great day.